Hello there, good sir. Are you new to Heavens Arena? Do you want to get good at the game? Or are you just trying to kill time? Well, look no further, because this video's for you. We're going to break down the basic controls, combos, and mechanics in Heavens Arena. And by the time you're done with this video, you'll be clapping kids harder than Will Smith and Chris. Alright, so first let's go over the basic controls, because you can't play this game if you don't know how to freaking play. So for the first controls, you got shift, which is your shift lock, and then you have left mouse 1, which is your M1, right? If you click on it, boom, combo, you know, standard. M2 is your heavy, and it's also a guard breaker, so watch out for that if you're blocking. E is your alternate. Alt-E is like your stance change. When you press it, it can alternate between moves and give it different properties. We'll discuss more about that later. R is to dash toward your opponent. C is like a Z vanish. You can only use it on the ground. When you're getting hit in a combo, you press C to dodge your opponent. But keep in mind, you can only use it once on the ground, just like I said earlier. So use it very wisely. Alright, up launcher. Now, remember how I said E is like a stance change? When you M2 and press E, you launch your opponent into the air. When you're in the air and you M2 and press E, you launch your opponent back down. If you're in the air and you press space in M2, you can do a second launcher. You can think of pretty good combos with that, so get creative. Q is dash, you know, you gotta dash. Forward, back, you know, good stuff. F is to block. So every unique character has their own sets of skills, just like they said in the tutorial. They got 1, 2, 3, and their ultimate. Now your 1, 2, and 3 are, you know, your basic skills, and one of them could be a guard breaker too, like Aizen's. Aizen's 1 is a guard break, so keep in mind for that. Your 4 is your ultimate move that you can only get by attacking and filling up this gauge. Once you fill up this gauge all the way full, use your ultimate. Some ultimates can only be used on the ground, like Aizen's Black Coffin, and some ultimates can be used on the air and in the ground. I recommend toggling the show cooldowns bar, so it'll be easier for you to know when your ultimate is ready. Speaking of bars, look at the yellow bar at the side. The yellow bar at the side shows you your hit stun when you're doing a combo. When the bar fully goes back to its neutral state, it tells you that the combo is done and your opponent will go back to its neutral state. So keep in mind with this, because once this bar is 0, it's the recovery time. Now let's talk about mechanic. First, I'll talk about combo rush. Combo rush is in the name. It's this term I developed when you're rushing your opponent in a combo. So you can fling your opponent with a basic combo, 1, 2, 3, then your M2. They'll be launched. After that, you can press R to launch toward them and do a follow-up. I also heard that in the tutorial, if two of you launch at the same time, you'll be both set back in the neutral state. If you fling your opponent up in the air, you can do a launch upward and you can do aerial combos. This can be very useful to doing wall bounce. Now let me discuss what a wall bounce is. When your opponent is next to a wall and then you launch them, and then after that you hit them with a knockback skill, your opponent will bounce off the wall, putting them in a staggering position. This allows you to combo even further and reach maximum combo potential. Did I also mention that E can also change the properties of the skills? If you don't want to know what I mean, let me give you an example since it's hard to explain. Go to Goku and you press E. You see how he has Kaioken attack and Kaioken finish? Some characters, when you press E, will also change their skills. The same goes for Kalua's Lightning Palm too. So do keep that in mind and experiment. Last but not least, let's talk about skill properties or mechanics, or whatever it's called. It's a term I developed, so shut up. When you use certain skills have different properties when they're in the air or on the ground. Let me give you an example. Aizen's skill on the ground makes you move and do flash steps around invisible. After that, you launch your opponent. In the air, Aizen's move doesn't teleport around your opponent. Instead, you just quickly vanish and knock back your opponent. Now, I hope this guide video has been very helpful. I'm a beginner at this game too, and what better way for me to learn to teach others how to play the game, right? Big brain. Now, go clap some cheeks.